I just realized that I mentioned I was going to say something about the HireVue acquisition, and I didn't because of all the fuss over Juicebox. So if you're still listening to this episode, which God bless you if you are, it's been a wild ride. I'm going to give my 2 cents on the HireVue.
There might be a wee problem, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Hey, boys and girls, it's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Big Arch Cheeseman.
I'm Maureen.
And I'm JT. It's shoulder season O'Donnell.
I guess we didn't work that out in the beginning.
And I can't wait my turn. I'm Maureen, aka Mo, Wiley Clough, and I have a middle name that is Unfollow Your Dreams because that's just how I'm feeling these days.
Love it. All right. It's Mo. It's JT. It's me. And on this episode of HR's Most Dangerous Podcast, RIP resumes, FYI Anthropic, and go home and get your juice box.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Let's do this.
Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Vetty Betty. From Vetty, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man. Keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Vetty makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Vetty, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Vetty. Hiring as it should be. Visit vetty.co to learn more.
Shockingly, I think the first Goodfellas soundbite that we've pulled for the show, unfortunately.
Seriously?
Yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Wow.
Goodfellas.
Agreed.
I haven't seen it.
Best gangster movie of all time. Go,
shocked?
JT.
Oh, I'm with you on Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Love
okay.
It. 10 out of 10.
Maureen, best mobster movie of all time?
Do you guys think I watch movies at this point? Goodfellas? Never
You haven't
seen
seen any mobster
Never
movies?
seen it. Nope. Probably too scary.
Godfather,
for me.
1 or 2. Goodfellas.
Nope.
Sopranos.
Casino.
Big Zip. Nope. None. Literally
Man.
none. I know. I know.
Holy shit.
You know.
Well,
Your
are
movie
you aware there's
references
a, are you
whoosh, right over my head.
are you aware there's a war going on in the Middle East? Are you at least
Yes.
tuned into that?
That I unfortunately do know. Yes, indeed. Wish I didn't.
Yeah. And how
Wish
how
I
are we
could
all coping about
ostrich on
that?
that one. Like to be under the sand. How am I doing? Fabulous. Just so well. I've never been better. What about you guys? I mean, it's amazing to be living in a world where like one headline just beats the last in terms of absolute mayhem. Yeah. World War III marching on
Yeah,
our
it's
door.
great. It's I love
Awesome.
a government that ignores the Constitution. Now,
me
granted,
too.
we've been doing that
Solid.
for a very long time.
Right.
But at least the last time we did this, we went in front of Congress and lied about weapons of mass destruction. At least got some consensus that way. This time we just said screw it and went in. So I think this is a very, very bad situation. If we could have secured the Strait of Hormuz, we would have done it by now. But we don't have. I don't think we have an answer for the drones, for the mines, for the missiles, for the the speedboats packed with explosives. The thing that people don't talk about, that like natural gas, if one of those goes up, it's like a massive explosion. Like it's a horrific happening. So anyway, I think this is really, really, really bad. We'll see.
It's kind of a perfect storm.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree. I almost feel, this is scary, but I almost feel like they're sitting there with this big map of the world, and they've got all these little
Who's
things
they?
of like, I'm just going to say the powers to be.
Okay, the
They've
Illuminati.
got the massive, yes.
Yeah, on
And they're
Epstein
staring at
Island.
this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the game of life, Monopoly, Battleship, and Risk all
Yeah.
into one. And they're like, hey, what if we did this over here? How do you think it would affect, how do you think it would affect the economy? Let's just do that. That's what it feels like to me. That, let's do it because we can. And let's see what happens. It's crazy to me.
The thing about Risk that's interesting is you don't build alliances in Risk. Like, it's just nations killing each other, basically, and you try to grow your nation bigger than the others. We're dealing with a situation now. Like, there's a axis of China, North Korea, Russia, Iran that would love the West to die. And China stood there and saw Venezuela taken off the map, if we're talking about Risk. If they get Iran taken off the map, it's really, really bad for China. They become like boxed in. They're energy dependent on America pulling the strings. So China has a extreme interest in Iran not failing in this war. So again, I don't see this is going to end badly. I'm very scared.
I don't disagree. I just
Very
can't
fearful.
believe the way that it almost feels cavalier. Does that make sense? Like the way that they went into this, like you said,
100%.
getting in front of Congress. No, it just
Definition
feels
of
like
cavalier.
we can. Why not? It's crazy.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, JT. That's what's going on here.
It's wild, and dark humor is one of the only thing that's getting me by right now. And it's I just saw something on the Onion the other day that was so incredibly funny, and I'm just going to read it to you right now. It says, "FBI uncovers Al Qaeda plots. Just sit back and enjoy the collapse of the United States." I was like, that pretty much nails it. Yeah, own goal.
Yeah,
It's fun.
And if you
Dark.
go watch SNL this past weekend, they did a skit on a press meeting.
Yeah.
And did you see that one?
No, I haven't.
Sure.
I
died.
really want to.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, you got to go see it. He's
The
basically
upside
up there
down, the upside down keg stand. Yeah.
Oh God! Is it Colin Jost as
watch it.
Pete Hegseth? Like, what's up, Dillweeds? I love that guy, man.
Yes,
He's so
yes.
So
That's
funny.
That is
What's your
literally
name? Jessica, still single, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That is my name.
Well,
Something positive. It's Women's Month. How,
Yay!
and you're two women. Last I checked. Like, is this a thing or no?
Wow. Thanks, Joel.
You're
I
welcome.
mean, I couldn't be more thrilled. Yeah, so much. Yeah, sure. Yay! Awesome.
Okay.
Matriarchy
All right.
now is what I'll say to that. Matriarchy now. It's time.
Matriarchy now. Are you saying
Right.
that women in power wouldn't have led us down this road of destruction? And
Exactly.
I mean, that goes
precisely
without
that.
saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Goes without
No
saying.
mother. I mean, oh my gosh, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
All
We would
right.
not be
Well,
here.
before we-
It's a lot of big egos,
before
big
we
swinging. You know what?
Before we slide into absolute misery, let's get into some shout outs,
Is it
shall we?
time for shout outs?
All right, guys. I gotta
Mo,
save
bring
us
us
from
back.
this a little bit.
Walk us off
All
the
right.
ledge.
Dark humor, guys. Disappointing affirmations is my shout out. This is a book that has been created on the back of an Instagram account by a guy named Dave Tarnowski. It is absolutely hilarious. It makes me laugh every single day. And I just purchased it at my local bookstore. And they even have the cover that you can fold out to be a full-blown poster. So it's like the opposite of one of those stupid corporate motivational posters. And it is amazing. Yep. So that's why I said unfollow your dreams as my middle name, because this guy has been inspiring me. One of my favorites, I'm just going to read to you. Have a panic attack. You've earned it. And for those of you who are not watching on YouTube, all of these different sayings have this beautiful sort of natural background, things that you would see like, an eagle soaring in the background on a corporate poster. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about yourself. That's your job, and nobody does it better. That's another amazing one.
Over 80% of you watching right now, you watch over and over. We know you do, but you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed. Let's do that. Let's do that now.
Ask the universe for guidance, then just go and do whatever stupid shit you were going to do anyway. I mean, it's just brilliant. So if you want to laugh, I highly recommend this.
Nice. I like to laugh. And thank God the's someone still reading books out there.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mo, for
this
that.
is one of it's a
appreciate
real, 600 pages, very dense,
Nice.
Really academic.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I'm
Intellectual
gonna
pursuit.
take take my shout out. My shout out is to eVTOLs. I think it's the first time we said that on the show. If it's on your bingo card, please mark it off. It's electric vehicles that are takeoff and landing. So these are the flying cars, I guess, if you've watched the Jetsons out there. Some of the brands you may or may not know are Joby, Archer, another one called Beta. These are public companies, by the way. You can check them out. But anyway, they've just got approved to start flying in, I think, 26 states. So we talk a lot about on the show how jobs are being lost, how, misery and this, the landscape is full of disappointing and depressing stories. To me, this is an example of technology creating new opportunities. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt that rich people in New York, Chicago, LA are going to fly these things to the airport from wherever their office is. This is going to be like a luxury thing. I don't want to sit in traffic. So anytime you have luxury experiences, you have the concierge, you have a pilot, you have food service, you have marketing and sales, you have, by the way, these things have to land on buildings. So there's going to be more places where they can take off and land. And that's going to be a business opportunity. So it's kind of cool that we have these things sort of in the pipeline. But I think it's a great example of, look, new jobs are going to be created, and things like this are going to be sort of the tip of the spear of new opportunities being created. So my shout out goes to the folks that are doing eVTOLs.
I'm so happy. First of all, I'm so happy you said that, but also, Joel, it's just so positive of you. You feeling okay over there? Right? Like,
what's gotten into you?
Saying what, right? Like, I know, you feeling okay? So
I don't feel like my shout outs are generally doom and despair. That usually comes later in the show. So I'm setting you guys up for
right?
No, but I love the hopefulness of that one. I do. I love it.
The angry white guy's coming out at some point.
That's such
that
a
sounds
good
more
sound.
accurate. There's Joel.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. He's
all right,
back.
JT, what you got?
Yeah, so I know you brought it up last week. You talked about the McDonald CEO, but I'm bringing it up again this week because, as everyone saw, everybody jumped on the bandwagon, right? Like, every executive out there decided to do their version, right? And just that moment when I love saying "I told you so," because I think in the over a year straight that I've been on here, I've been telling you what executives need to do video. Executives need to do video. CEOs, like, you need to be out there branding yourself so that if some particular video doesn't land right, the whole world isn't making that first impression of you.
Yeah.
Which is what happened, right? But now everybody's jumping on it and going, oh, wait, we get attention. This is fun. People listen to us. We sell product. So guess what you're going to see now? Thanks to that. I mean, he tried. He went first. I'm backing him for that reason. But now they're all going to do it. They're all going to do it after we've been saying forever. Like, now they see the benefits and they're all going to do it. So if this is what took to get executives there, fine. But it's about dang time, you know?
That's interesting. So if you haven't been watching, the CEO of McDonald's tasted their new Whopper
product,
whatever, Supreme, Big Arch.
Product.
And got just killed for it, looking like he's never had a hamburger before. Like he's not CEO of McDonald's. I mean, totally awkward, totally nerdy. It was bad. And I have a theory that it was a psyop. It was like someone in marketing going, wouldn't it be genius? Wouldn't it be genius if we had our nerdy CEO take a taste of this and talk about how great it is? And he may or may not have known that. But I think they knew this was going to be ridiculed. And this guy was going to take a hit. And I guarantee you they're going to sell more Big Arches because of this. And this thing has been on social media ad nauseum. Like, I see reviews for this all over. Now, granted, I get a lot of fast food because that's my algo. But I'm sure a lot of you have seen people tasting this. But JT's right. Like, it's going to sell burgers. It's going to, like, build brand. They're going to have to come up with new products, like, all the time now. Because you can't just... You can't just bite on a quarter pounder every month and go, oh, it's the same quarter pounder. So we're going to have to see like all kinds of new products.
Oh, no. Joel, it's going to be the series. He's going to go flip a burger. He's going to go show how he makes the fries. He's going to go, sit with people in the No, exactly. Like they're not going to reinvent the wheel. They're going to go take stuff from undercover bosses and run with it.
Okay.
I don't think they might have known, but I don't think they told him because CEOs have way too big egos. This is the biggest hiccup I run into, right? As I coach executives every day on doing video and they're like, I don't want to look stupid. I'm like, you're going to look stupid until you do this, right? Like
So
you're going to do it a few times and then we'll make it public.
What was the conversation when he went into marketing, goes, oh my God, people hate me and they're making fun of me. Delete this now. What was that conversation like?
Whoa. Roll back a little bit. Okay. He goes to them and says, I think I should probably do some video of me eating the sandwich, right? And they're like, all right, he does it. It's horrible. But because nobody wants to tell the king that he looks bad, they're all like,
oh my God, that
awesome.
is so
go. All
rad.
right. They put, I'm right. They put him out there. It bombs. He comes back and goes, everyone's making fun of me. And the spin is, but look at the numbers. Don't you want us to increase social? You did what you wanted us to do. And now a week later, it's blowing up. So, somebody maybe got yelled at for a hot minute, but they set him up for success, failing forward, if you will.
Okay.
My advice is get yourself on freaking camera. Yeah. Record yourself until you're comfortable and then have somebody like us look at it before you go public. I'm just saying. And then you'll be fine. But everyone's going to have to be on video. I don't know how many more times you're going to have to say this. You're going to be on video whether you like it or not.
And the good news, as of now, he's not in the Epstein files. So he's at least in the clear on that. Well, from big arches and whoppers to more free stuff, let's hear from our friend, Stephen McGrath.
Oh, boy.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Stephen McGrath. And I'm here to tell you all about how you can grab some free stuff from chadcheese.com. Now, you might be wondering why I'm sitting here topless. And the answer is really simple. Because I've not grabbed my free t-shirt from Erin app at chadcheese.com yet. Let me fix that. Right, that's better. So I'm sporting a slightly vintage model here, but of course there are new and updated designs every year. And those are super soft, breathable, and some might even say huggable. Now, what else can you get? Of course, you can get some craft beer. It's not just any regular rubbish beer. That's craft beer, brought to you by the data geeks at Aspen Tech Labs. And if you're not into beer too much, then... Oh, 2 seconds. I'm just going to get that. Then you can always go for chicken cock, baby. That's right. Not one, but 2 bottles of chicken cock from the lovely people at Proven Base. Now, you're not going to get any of this stuff unless you go to chadcheese.com/free and get yours today.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
By the way, our friend Stephen, I think, poured some scotch in his eyes recently. He's dealing with sort of a red eye issue. So shout out to him. Hope he
feel better.
Gets well soon.
Why did you do that?
Events! Where are we going, boys?
Sorry, Mo, what?
Why did he pour scotch in his eyes?
I'm joking about the pour in the eyes. Have you not done this show long enough to know that sarcasm is my love language? He has an eye thing. He's struggling.
An eye thing, like what? Like pink eye or something?
Like a red eye virus thing, Scottish Moor disease. I don't know. Loch Ness monster bit him. I don't know.
I was like, is that some medicinal thing that people do?
I was trying to have a tender moment, and you just
I blew it. I blew it. My bad. I'll just.
All right. Travel wise, looks like Chad, who's I think moving into his permanent residence in Portugal, not an Airbnb, is going to be in Hertfordshire at the RLX conference. He'll be powered by our friends at Shaker Recruitment Marketing, by the way. Make sure you check those guys out. They're doing some great stuff, as always. Are you guys ready to get into some topics?
Sure am.
Yes.
Topics!
All right, stop me if you've heard this one before. The resume is dead. A recent article from Business Insider is blowing up your social medias. The traditional resume is losing its value, according to the story, as hiring managers increasingly prioritize skills and enthusiasm over credentials. This shift is partly driven by the rise of AI-generated applications, which make it difficult to distinguish between qualified and unqualified candidates. As a result, employers are exploring alternative methods like work trials, skills-based hiring, and leveraging platforms like LinkedIn to identify and evaluate potential hires. I guess it's going to be slop that kills the resume, not video or anything else. The author of the story is apparently Mo's BFF, so I'll let Mo start out with her opinion on the death of the resume.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing it here from JT for quite some time. And the author of this particular piece is Amanda Hoover over at Business Insider. And she put something out on LinkedIn that was like, I want to talk about this. And I was like, I've got just the person for you. So I put her together with JT, who appears in the story, which is fantastic. But yeah, I mean, this is something that on one hand really brings music to my ears, because let me tell you, I hate nothing more than formatting a resume. It is the worst, most frustrating thing on planet Earth. I cannot get the fonts right. I cannot get the stupid bullet points to line up. Microsoft Word is I just despise it. So I'm happy that we can throw that out the window. I do think that there's just so much, like you said, AI slop out there, that these are all becoming interchangeable so as to become essentially meaningless. And there is a problem for recruiters in absorbing, a gazillion different resumes coming in. They've all been created via AI. It's meaningless. And so I think it harkens back to the concept that we are entering an era where your soft skills are going to be the most important things of all. And you're able to demonstrate that with other things than a resume, right? Like a resume does not do that for you whatsoever. One thing that I do think this is emblematic of as well is that this whole sort of career system is really breaking down. Like we're in this sort of moment where stability is changing, and all the old rules and all the old playbooks are just falling apart right now because the world is changing so fast. So it used to be, like build experience, get your resume, submit it online. Like we were told to apply online. Like that was how you got a job. And now it's really becoming all about who you know, a network and whatnot, which has always been, in my opinion, the best way to get a job, but has its own issues as well. Because if you are relying on, these networks, that puts certain people at a disadvantage, that creates, these sort of echo chambers, that creates certain clubs that people can't really access. And so it makes a problem and bias along the way. But yeah, this is, the world of work is just changing at such a clip. It's insane. But I think JT's right. I mean, people are going to have to start getting more comfortable with video. And, it's something that I think really can personalize an application. You're going to meet them in person anyway at some point, right? So I think the concern that I have around it is more about like, who are we blocking out? Who are we not going to allow access to these networks because of the fact that it's becoming so much more network based and those systems are just shifting so quickly.
Bring in the red meat.
We have the meat.
All right, JT, you can't wait to speak. Go.
I think you need to go back on all the shows I've ever been on here for the last 2 years. And I'm pretty sure on at least 2 of them, you have made fun of me when I've said the resume is dead and is dying. And everybody's like, it's never going to go away. There's like, everyone's always said this. It's dead. It's dead. Be clear. It's dead. And so it made me so happy when Amanda reached out, and it was great to see. She did an amazing job on the article, but
she really did.
The thing about all the new ways, skills-based hiring, it's not who you know anymore. So I think the big fear about this is that it's going to completely end up being about my network, who I know. It's actually not who you know anymore. It's who knows you. So let that sink in for a minute. The more people that know the work that you do, the more opportunities you will get. It is that simple. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000. So all these people that say, I'm not going to sit and watch a video resume, you're a liar. I'm calling every recruiter out on the show right now that sits there and tells me, I'm not going to look at it. Guess what? You do it every day. It's called social media. Nice try. And on top of that, we're not teaching people to say, hi, I have 15 years experience in. We're teaching people how to talk about the problems they solve and the pain they alleviate and how they do that. That is interesting. Because that's the dang thing you ask in an interview. So to your point, Mo, video is the new interview. Video is the new phone screen. Video is the new recruiter assessment. And it's more powerful and it's more effective. And if that isn't enough, let me tell you one more thing. As someone who's been teaching people how to do video for 2 years, you want to know who's getting jobs with it? People in their 50s and 60s. because they can get on video and they can talk with knowledge and tell stories and explain how they do things. The younger generations can't. So where video's really helping is not your little tech savvy, Gen Zers. It's actually the late millennials, Gen Xers, and the boomers who are saying, I got nothing to lose at this point. Why don't I get on video and tell them how I'd solve it?
Let's go.
So there you go. So all of you who have been in denial, you're wrong. You're wrong.
So because some Joey Bag of Donuts journalist at Business Insider writes that it's dead and needs clicks and views, and you think that makes you right?
Ooh. I don't know this Joey Bag of Donuts term, but I'm pretty sure it's pejorative, and Amanda's an excellent reporter. We all got it. Hey, it's the Trojan horse. We all got to have a headline that's going to bring people in, right? That is the name of the game. So don't slam her.
Get off my line, you no good punk kids.
Wait, by the way, coming from the guy who hasn't had a resume in how long and will never use one again, right? You'll never use a resume again,
I
Joel,
haven't even said anything yet. You're lucky it's Women's Month. I'm letting you guys get a word in. Go on, Mo. You want to pile in? Let's go.
Oh, snap. Well, I have a friend who is a creator, and she was going to partner with this bigger, sort of more old school company, and they asked her for a resume, and she was like, I don't have a freaking resume. Like, you're trying to do a brand partnership with me. Why the hell do you want my resume? And they were like, it's just for the system, blah, blah, blah. And so she fished something out from years ago and pitched it over to them and was like, here you go, completely irrelevant, has nothing to do with what I do today or what you want to do with me. But it's like one of those hallmarks of yesteryear that's going to continue to sort of dissipate over time, I would imagine. It is worthless at this point when you consider all the slop and all of the customization that people are doing just by plopping in a job description and then having AI tell you exactly how your resume should be so as to appeal to the recruiter who is never going to see your resume because they have 8 billion in front of them already. So, I mean, something's got to change. And I think it's good. It's really heartwarming to hear that you're seeing an uptick in people who are older, who are actually doing the video willingly.
Big time.
I will say I did have an experience just a year ago where we were trying to ask people to give us sort of a video application, if you will, where we wanted them to send 1 to 2 minutes of why they wanted to join the specific thing. And one person out of 100 who got it did it. Only one. And when people reached out, we were like, why aren't you doing the final step here? They're like, I didn't want to do a video. So it sounds like it's shifted a lot since then, which is it's compelling. I'm glad to hear that. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, get desperate enough and you'll do things you said you weren't going to do, right? So it's going to force people. They're not going to have a choice. By the way, pro tip, LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft. You need a resume? Just go hit the PDF feature on your LinkedIn profile. Done. It's turned into a resume. So if you really need one, there you go.
Well, thank you for making my argument for me, JT. I may not have a resume, but I sure as hell have a LinkedIn profile that can easily become a resume.
You go.
Here, old guys coming out. Ready? In 2013, it's still searchable. I wrote an article entitled "This Reinventing the Resume Thing Needs to Stop." When I wrote it, a company called Beyond.com, which has since become Next.com with 2 X's, had a new product called Career Portfolio, which was basically rewriting the resume or reinventing the resume. Another company at the time was out called Career Cloud. Both of these companies are gone in some form or fashion. And we keep doing this. We keep saying video is going to take it over. We keep saying pictures and portfolios and PDFs and put your life in there is going to take this over. Standards exist because they work. Having standards means the same wheels on my car are the same wheels on your car, and those standards are solid for a reason. The resume is a standard that we all play by. When you submit a resume or when you submit an application to an ATS, and every company has one last time I checked, you typically submit a application, which is your resume. I will accept the argument that if you're a frontline worker, you don't have a resume, then that's an issue. But they would accept a resume if you had a resume. They don't say submit your last social media video to apply to this job. They say submit your application /resume. Now, part of my argument in this was that recruiters scan a resume and within 3 to 6 seconds know you're fit or not. If you started putting videos and pictures and everything else, it creates more time for a recruiter, which makes a standardized resume more efficient. I will throw you guys some pearls and say AI has changed the game, because AI enables you to scan a resume, no matter if it's a book or a real resume, whatever it is. If AI can scan it, and AI can scan video as well, but AI can look at a video and tell you what content is in it, what text is in it. So I will give you that. The world is such now that I think you still need a resume, but I also agree that you can do an alternative to that and probably be successful. The tales of the resume's death are quite exaggerated. It still is part of every, I think, job seeker's game plan, and should be for the long term. But I will give you the fact that if we go to a world where agents talk to agents, we don't need anything. Like, just scan the world, scan the web, and your agent knows everything about you, and you can get that. That world may come, scary. And I agree that it probably will. But even then, you will still have a LinkedIn profile. And if I want to know, if I just met JT and I want to know about her, I go to LinkedIn, I see where she went to school, where she lived, where she worked, what she do, who's she investing in, who's she advising. I can't go to her social media and easily see, oh, here's where she went to school, and here's what she does, and here's the job she had, So that format is here to stay, kids.
It doesn't mean it's not here to stay. It just means lesser importance, right?
No. That's all nuance, okay? You just went from resume to format. Two totally different things, brother. Okay, first of all, a LinkedIn, you're right, has a format. You know what LinkedIn has? A place for me to add all the things that I'm learning and doing and interested in. You know what resumes suck at? They suck at me showing you what I want to do in the future. When I give you a resume, the only thing you as a recruiter are going to evaluate me on is what I've done in the past. What if I don't want to do that anymore? Which is the vast majority of people, right? We want to evolve and grow. So resumes put you in a box. Secondly, I'm kind of sad to hear you say, yes, we need it so we can standardize everybody and just check that they can do the job. How many times have we placed somebody who on the resume didn't look qualified, but actually really was? Those people never get a shot when you use resumes. So resume out. I'm with you. Tools like LinkedIn continue, but they take the advantage of AI. Their AI tool right now, their recruitment tool, is getting more sophisticated by the day. The people that are winning on LinkedIn right now are the ones that are talking regularly and consistently about their industry and their skill set. That is how they're being surfaced. And going back to what I said earlier, it is not who you know, it's who knows you. What you want in the future is going to come from you talking about what you know, talking about what you care about, people finding that and saying, oh, you're a fit. That doesn't happen on a resume. That's why the resume is dead.
And one thing to add to that really bolsters your point is that everybody has to turn into a salesperson now. That's where we are as a society when we are shifting to optionality, when we're learning that the stability that past careers have offered is really dead, and that the responsibility is on us as individuals rather than companies, which used to be sort of the old contract. Now we all have to sell. And so you have to hang that shingle and you got to get comfortable with doing that. And it's a really tough game for a lot of people for whom this is not in their sort of natural skill sets. But everybody has to start becoming a salesperson to some degree. And I don't mean this in some toxic hustle culture sort of way. It's just about insurance. It's career insurance. And so this aspect is it's important. So a resume is doing less of the sales for you than ever before.
I think both can be true. If I see JT's video on social, I'm interested. She seems smart and knows what she's talking about. Inevitably, I'm going to go to her profile and dig into what her resume / profile says. So I think there's a world where we're both right on this. But there was a time where I did not believe the video and the pictures and the stuff would work. AI is changing my opinion on that. So
we'll get you over here eventually, Joel. It's just a matter of time.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
Well, thankfully, the AI is telling us what jobs will be there in the future and which ones won't. Our next story from Anthropic, new research from them reveals that while AI can theoretically handle many tasks, its actual usage in workplaces is less severe than expected. Jobs most exposed to AI automation include computer programmers, customer service reps, and data entry workers. The study also highlights that high exposure workers tend to be older, more educated, and better paid, challenging the notion that AI will primarily impact lower wage workers. JT, in your newsletter, which I read and everyone else should as well, you said that Anthropic study, quote, stopped me in my tracks and made me rethink everything I tell my clients, end quote. Say more.
Yeah. So, we knew that AI was going to take over these tasks. They've predicted the amount of tasks that it would take over. And people keep saying it's going to take jobs. Well, it takes enough of the tasks off the plate that we just don't need as many of you. And the sooner people start to realize if I'm in one of those jobs, then it doesn't matter how much I coach you. If the sheer volume of those jobs are going away, your ability to get and keep one of those jobs is going to get infinitely harder, no matter how much I coach you on that. And so for me, it became a mission to start talking to people about you have to be the brain behind the bots. Going forward, if you aren't thinking about AI as like a big toolbox in front of you, everyone gets the same toolbox, but it's the person that can take out the hammer and the screwdriver and the drill and create the masterpiece that's going to win. It's really going to start to become about craftsmanship. And so the people that I'm talking to every day, I'm like, what do you know about AI? And not just, hey, I play with ChatGPT. Like literally, what are the AI tools in your space? Go look them up, go understand them, go start to think about how you'd stack them together, use as much as you can. Because what's really amazing, and when I was at Talent Connect, the study shows 60% of employees right now are waiting around for their company to tell them what they should learn about AI. 100% of companies have said, that's not our job.
Yeah.
Right? We pay you. Go figure it out. In fact, we're going to go clean house, as we've watched how many companies do since the first of the year.
Bazillion.
And we're going to go look for people that have some sort of inkling, or at least are talking like a craftsman or a craftswoman. And that those are the people that are at least showing that they want to learn AI, build something, do great things with AI. Because I really do believe I'm like you in terms of going forward, there are going to be some amazing careers, some amazing companies. We're going to go into the whole second renaissance, a digital renaissance driven by AI. It's just not happening today. We're in the painful contraction phase for another 12, 18 months.
Yep.
But then it's going to feel like overnight we're going to wake up and there's going to be nothing in the news but crazy new, cool, awesome companies that people are going to go, I never dreamed I could figure out how to do that, but I can with AI. The question is, are you going to be on the early side of that and reap the rewards? Or are you going to continue to stick your head in the sand and say, well, I just want to get through the last 10 years of my career, and not have to learn this stuff? You're not going to last 10 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to last 2 years, And so that was we had to pivot my entire company. When we saw this, we were like, we have to be in the business of teaching people how to document themselves and get visible, but also harp on them about AI. And it's working, Guess what? The early adopters that we've been taking through, they're getting the jobs. I just had one woman, she just got hired by a Fortune 100 to keep her confidential, but she went in and they said, you were the only person that answered our questions with actual theoretical solutions of how we would use AI. They said, we know we don't have the answers yet, but somebody's got to be in here and start talking about this using their knowledge. She used her craftsmanship. That to me is so amazing. There's so much opportunity ahead and that excites me. But unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people that just don't want to change. They're going to sit in denial and they're going to suffer.
Right.
That escalated quickly.
Lots of people sitting on their heels for sure. Well, I mean, the thing is, things have shifted. Like the whole ability for us to rely on a company is gone. It's not the way it used to be. I mean, companies used to flesh out these huge training programs. You'd go through like months of training to get into an environment. And now they've offloaded all of that responsibility onto the individual. So that is something that we need to do to shore up our defenses against being pushed out. That is, oh my gosh, what? Hello? This is amazing.
I thought I would pop in and say hi. Literally.
Chad is in the house, everybody.
That is fantastic. What an amazing cameo appearance. I'm so glad you're here.
What's up, dude? Are you in your new place? Are you in your permanent residence?
I am not. I'm still in my buddy's place. We're moving in. We're moving in later this weekend, but just getting everything pulled together. Everything
That
pulled
is
together.
awesome.
But
What's going on, man? What inspired you to pop in? You have an opinion, I'm sure, on something.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, I'm sure.
We're on the Anthropic research around what careers are going to go away and which ones aren't. I don't know if you've seen that story or not, but
I have. I think it's all bullshit. There's no surprise. I don't think that most of the tech industry knows what the hell that they're talking about. They push out a lot of information. A lot of it's propaganda. Yeah, a lot of it's just BS to be able to drive that. AI is taking jobs when literally they were still bloated from pandemic.
My new episode is about that today. Literally that. AI as cover for layoffs and creating the resetting of the labor market. That is literally it. But yes, so I'm with you. You have to always consider the source. You have to know, why is someone saying this? How does it behoove them to have this message go out to the public? So use critical thinking skills. I know Americans don't like to, but we really need to. But again, what JT said about responsibility and stuff is true. This is just a fundamental shift in how people need to view the way in which they work at companies and what kind of responsibility the companies have to them versus what you have to the company. It's just shifting.
There's a lot of unintended consequences in this. They talk about, the face-to-face jobs are still going to flourish. And I think there's a level of they'll flourish in part because of AI. I talked about the legal profession, I think, last week. Yes, no one's going to go into court with algorithms and figure out like a case. Like that's not going to happen. But on the other side, the only thing stopping more lawsuits is the ability to scale, filing lawsuits, which AI will actually spur more lawsuits. So you have a situation where AI on one end is creating more work for lawyers. You have lawyers not being displaced by AI. Oh my God, we might wake up one day and go, we need more lawyers. We never saw that coming. More salespeople. There might be more face-to-face that's necessary. We might get to a world where the AI salespeople getting leads and generating, packing the funnel with people means we need more salespeople because no one's going to buy from a robot, but we're getting more leads and people in the funnel. So I think a lot of the narrative around this is a little bit of make-believe. 90% theoretically could be all replaced by robots, but who in this call thinks that's going to happen? It's gonna be messy. It's gonna be awkward, but I think the doomsayers are probably going to be on the wrong side of history. AI.
But from the get-go, they talked about we'd lose 87 million jobs, but we'd ultimately create 93 million. You heard many. So I agree. I just think it's going to be different, though, Joel. Even those jobs as the lawyer jobs or the sales jobs that come back, it's all going to be different, which I'm here for. I think everybody's ready for different types of work. But in this time, there's a level of contraction that we're just not ready for. I mean, companies are saying we can't find the right people. Why? Well, I want somebody with 10 years of AI experience. They don't exist, And so those kinds of problems are happening right now. They'll sort themselves out and it'll get exciting again. But I think you're naive if you're sitting around thinking you're going to hang on to your corporate job for the next 5-10 years doing exactly what you're doing now. You are naive if you think that's the case.
Yeah. I also mentioned last week that most of the startups that we talk about in our space now are driven by AI. Like the slop, the automated post, like all their businesses being created to solve those problems. Just like throughout human history, businesses are created when problems are created. Do any of us think AI is not going to create more problems for the people to kind of figure out and solve? I mean, I would bet, I would bet, the AI is going to fuck shit up and we're going to have to fix it.
Big time.
I agree.
Building the plane.
It's like it's like what is it, like 7 o'clock in Portugal? Where's your beer, man?
I just wanted to pop in and say hi, hello, listeners, and you guys get back to work. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, we will.
Go have a cocktail. Good to see you.
Go get some drinks. Later. Thanks, Chad.
Bye, Chad.
And with that, it's time to take a quick break, everybody. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe in your podcast channel of choice. Also, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@ChadCheese. We'll be right back.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, guys, enough of this job seeker stuff. Let's talk some recruitment software companies. A flurry of industry news dropped this week. Here's just a sampling. HireVue acquired HireGuide. Indeed gave us Explorer pages. LinkedIn engagement declined in 2025. Talvi, one of those resume killers out there, got $2 million. And Yurko raised a Series A, but probably the biggest news of the week was Juicebox raising $80 million at an $850 million valuation. They even did a video talking about the new investment. Check it out. Who are we looking at, Mo, for the listeners? These are social media people, right?
Ivy League.
The best ones, too.
Okay. We'll get to that after the video.
What are you guys doing?
Come on, you're crushing our vibe.
Have you been doing this all day?
We're almost done.
Who are you hiring for?
We're trying to find our next sales manager.
A sales manager. Okay.
Quote over 100%. President's Club?
I think we should go with dog with a tie.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi there. I'm here for the interview.
Yes, welcome. Right this way. While you two are busy playing a guessing game, I'm gonna go make this hire.
It's not a game. I think we got it.
Yeah, looks good. Good.
Well, talent is a company's greatest asset. But the way we hire still looks like it did 10 years ago.
We are re-engineering recruiting around AI intelligence. Search that understands who you're looking for across any industry and role. And agents that actively learn from your feedback, remember your preferences, and autonomously improve over time.
And today, we're excited to announce our $80 million Series B to go even further. Because in a world where knowledge is becoming a commodity, the companies that win hire the best people first.
Mo, you love this from Juicebox, and I gave you shit for not knowing any mobster movies, but I have no idea who those two dudes were at the beginning. So why don't you educate me on that and give us your hot take on Juicebox?
Let me help you. Okay, yeah. So this is an amazing announcement commercial. These guys have been so silent on social, and I was like, this is so interesting. I wonder why they don't have any posts. It's because they wanted to come in hot with this commercial, which is freaking fabulous. It actually features two of the biggest creators in the tech space, tech comedy space. So you've got Austin Nassa coming on my show soon, and Corporate Bro, aka Ross Pomerantz, who is amazing, and he is absolutely hysterical. He does tech satire, and these two are the ones at the table. And then enter Corporate Natalie, another huge social media person who is partnered with Corporate Bro and a bunch of stuff. Anyway, this is like a masterclass on how to do social media. This is not unlike the way Mom Donnie did social, where like the Democrats really need to check in with like how Gen Z and how people are doing social media today to get attention. This was really, really brilliant. a huge splash by these guys, making this their entry into the social world. This is how people learn about stuff now, right? This is just how the world works. So like hats off to Juicebox for coming in hot with that. I'm sure it cost them a ton of money to get all of those 3 creators who have millions of followers collectively on this commercial. But yeah, I mean, I think, dude, it says it's a testament to what JT is saying, right? Like this is a sort of period where we all need to be salespeople, right? We all need to be thinking about how we can attract people to come to us, because now you're looking at a hiring system. It's less about us inbound, us throwing our resumes into application pools, and more about how do we stand out so that people will come to us, right? So this is what this tool allegedly does, right? It goes out and it finds and sources the best candidates. Well, how are you going to stand out? You have to have some sort of a profile. You have to have some sort of a way of getting yourself out there. I can't wait to see what the tool actually does. I haven't seen a demo, but again, AI, of course, very, very in the mix, agentic AI in this case too. And obviously we all know that the ghosting candidates is a huge problem. People are incredibly frustrated by this. So this might help people do less of that, which is great. And hopefully find the right people. But again, bias is always the thing I worry about.
I want to know who the 2 teenagers in the director's chair were at the end. What? They weren't the founders, were they? Those were really the founders.
They founded it at 19 and 22. Yeah, 19 and 22. So that's interesting. But yeah, it sounds like a cool tool. It sounds like it might fix some things. I want to see it. I want to learn more about it. But good on them. 80 mil, not bad.
JT, social media. Do you know these? Did you know these people? Are you as excited as Mo, or is this new to you too?
Yeah,
okay.
Everything she said and then some. And it just further validates, like, I'm going to be honest though, those 3 social media rock stars, I'm sure when this company came to them and said, we're Juicebox and we want to do this, that's the last gig they thought they were going to get. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not dreaming that some corporate company is going to come and offer you that kind of money to do that. But this is what I mean about the $480 billion knowledge creator economy. Knowledge. Put the word knowledge in front of it. Because now what Mo said, there are so many people out there right now that if you're just documenting your knowledge and you're out there and putting your voice out there, somebody's going to come along and be like, hey, will you do a commercial for us? Hey, will you do like 3 or 4 videos? Only if you believe in our product, but will you do them and we'll pay you? That is coming mainstream. It's been around forever in the other spaces, but it's coming to us now. And that's what gets me super excited about it. Not to mention what they're doing is genius. They are proving that if you go put yourself out there and document yourself, we're going to be able to find you, contact you, hire you, right? Like that is the new future. Again, makes the case for you don't need a resume anymore. If you got this other stuff out there about yourself, you're going to be found in other ways.
All
just going to say it, right?
Yeah.
So I am so here for what Juicebox is doing. And I mean, 20 out of 10 for me, the way they handled this.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Master.
I'm gonna shake things up
You're
here.
not going to fall
guys.
for the banana in the tailpipe?
Something new and different for you, Joel.
All right. I'm going to comment on HireVue, but I do want to comment on Juicebox. And since you guys are so juiced up about it, I'm going to talk about them first. And I think this is the time on the show where
time for a history lesson.
Okay, guys, let's take everyone back to a time period around when LinkedIn launched, and sourcing was just becoming a thing, and using weird search engines at the time to find needles in a haystack to search about us pages, and then LinkedIn came along, like, how do I search LinkedIn? And then services that were on top of LinkedIn started popping up. You might remember when Intello, became a thing. And Intello was cool because it tapped into LinkedIn, but then it told you, oh, someone just updated their profile, so maybe they're into a new job. Maybe they're, a good prospect. And then you had like Hiring Solved and Hire Tooled, and then Seek Out came along. And like all of these businesses are either gone or they've pivoted hard into something else. Whether it's LinkedIn said, no, you're not going to do that because we are the Rolodex of everything on the internet. We're going to sue you into oblivion. Or everyone's using the same database. So it just becomes this race to the bottom where, okay, we're all using the same data. What's separating any of us? Well, nothing. We're just cheaper. no, we're cheaper. Wait a minute, we're cheaper. And just became this race and like, oh, well, we better pivot and be something else. And Seek Out, I think, is one of the few that I mentioned that are still around. And they are a far cry from what they used to be. So to me, like, sorry, old man, but these guys come along and it's like, what's new? Teenage founders and some social media folks. Like, unless you tell me that our data is magic and we have people that no one else has, then I'll buy it. But no one's saying that. They're saying, look at our cool social media people and our cool commercial. But at some point, look, young people will say, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to pay money to use it. But ultimately, there's going to be another Juicebox competitor if they get successful. And then it's just going to revolve around the same thing. Look, I've seen this movie twice at least. It doesn't end well for Juicebox, and it's not going to end well, prediction, for their investors. This is going to crash and burn. It may take a while, but there's no future in this company.
Wow. I got a rebuttal here. You're killing me. Okay, first of all, do you remember this company called MySpace?
Yep.
Do you remember how everybody thought MySpace will be around forever and it'll be the only platform? Okay. This is the very real problem LinkedIn has right now. LinkedIn is the only one of its type where everybody's sitting on there. But you know who can't stand LinkedIn? And I work with them all the time. The younger generation.
They're not going anywhere else.
Be on it.
They're not going anywhere else.
Yet.
They're not going to Boom Band. They're not going to Polywork.
But what if you don't have
Polywork's
to?
dead
You're
too.
not,
Polywork
you're
was
not
the
listening.
fun LinkedIn. Okay.
Can you just let me finish? Okay. So if I can be on social or be anywhere and share what I know and what I do, and AI is now sophisticated enough to go out there, it is going to find me, and I'm not on LinkedIn. And by the way, I'm not putting on LinkedIn what I'm putting in other places.
Mm-hmm.
So do they have a huge road ahead of them? Absolutely. But it is myopic to think that we aren't eventually going to have somebody that does crack the code and becomes the next LinkedIn, just like Facebook came after MySpace. But it's been ripe for a long time.
These guys aren't the next LinkedIn. They're the next people finder.
That.
They're not.
Okay.
They're not.
But they're
pushing
not layering it
themselves as
on.
join
They're
us.
not being stuck by only pulling off of LinkedIn. It's wrong for you to say that they're not going to get new people. I disagree. But more importantly, they're going to go get people who are incorrectly in other places, meaning their data isn't well represented, say on LinkedIn, whereas their things that they care about and that they want to do can be represented someplace else. Like, large language models are, killed when the data sucks, right? So LinkedIn knows it has a data issue. It has a data quality issue with 1.3 billion profiles. It's why they're working so hard to drive engagement and to get people updated, because they know a lot of that data is inaccurate. But when someone cracks the code and figures out how to go get all of these younger workers and individuals' data out there that's fresh and new and updated and not outdated, you got a different data set there. You got a different thing. And then that gets super, super interesting. And I don't think you give somebody $80 million who hasn't started to talk about what that looks like. And so,
yeah, because investors have never put money in something that failed. It never happens, JT.
Facts.
Never
You're right.
happens.
And it's a big sum, but I'm going bullish on the idea that we're going to see some new and exciting things.
Mo?
We'll just have to see how this all plays out,
all right,
man.
let's move. All right, another quick break because we're getting a little frothy up in here.
I love it.
Again, we'll be right back, everybody. By the way, leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right, everybody. Maureen has to bounce out. Any last words, Maureen?
Sorry. Man, I can't wait to hear what you guys say when I'm not in the room. All right.
You're busy. Give us a we out.
I got your back.
Gotta roll. We out. Bye, guys.
And then there were two. This has been a weird
let's
show.
Bring it on.
This has been a weird show.
I know. Chad popping in, like, whoa.
That was weird.
Bizarre.
He's so needy. Love me. All right. LinkedIn has released their Women in the Workplace survey. New data shows that while women make up 44% of the global workforce, they hold only 31% of VP and higher leadership roles, with momentum stalling at the manager level, particularly in tech and finance. Also highlighted is increased burnout and declining mental health for younger female workers. JT, you're a woman, like I mentioned earlier. Help us out here. What's your take on the survey about women in the workplace?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously dug deep into this, and they sent it to me in advance. I saw 5 things that in particular I thought women should be taking note of. First of all, the most obvious one is we can't rely on corporate systems. We never could.
Mm-hmm.
But corporate systems, as we know it, are flattening, right? This idea of a career hierarchy, them understanding our needs, like that's just dying faster and faster. What was really interesting to me is the biggest barrier isn't the C-suite. It's that first promotion. What the data really showed is that if you're not visible early enough on in your career so that someone sees you and picks you up and helps you move up, you're probably never going to get to that top. And so it's when you think about the amount of entry-level jobs, for example, that are being wiped out, where are these women going to get seen, noticed, and pulled up to that next level? That's a concern that we have to look at. The career ladder, as we know, is broken. Not like they're claiming it's breaking. I'd say been broke for a while, right? Women have been leaning out over the last couple of years. The data shows that because they've given up. To me, visibility matters more than ever. It's something you hear me talk about all the time. It's 10 times that for women. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. They don't know what you do. Women love to keep their head down, do a good job, and hope upon hope that someone recognizes the great work they're doing and promoting them. It doesn't work that way.
Yep.
It doesn't. You got to stop. And then the big one is that you stop thinking like an employee. Every woman out there that's listening, you're a business of one.
Mm-hmm.
You are a service provider. Treat yourself like that. Market yourself like that. Pay attention. Chase the value. Chase the money. You know, when businesses go out of business, there's usually a reason, right? They one or more of the things that they couldn't get across the finish line to keep their business in business. Women have to more than ever right now be paying attention to all aspects of the marketing, the business, the sales, the product, the service. And I know that's a lot, but that's what it takes these days. So, you know, it was a lot of data to take in, but to me, that's the reality check.
Part of it, to me, I think the elephant in my head was at the manager level. It's typically an age at which women consider, am I having a child? Am I taking that step in my life, or am I not? Do you agree with that? Am I off base with that? Because I feel like that's the age when that happens. Like it's either I want to have a family and do that, I'm going to pull back on my career, or more and more women I think are saying, you know what, I'm going to have both, or I'm going to go career.
Yeah. So I have obviously coached a lot of women who come to me somewhere around in their 30s and have their first child.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the conversation. JT, I gave them everything. I was working 60 hours a week. I was doing everything. I crushed it, right? I went out on maternity leave. I came back. Now I'm more tightly dialed in. I'm getting more done in 40 hours than I ever did before, but it's because I have this life. So I'm getting even more dialed in. I'm producing. I'm doing great. I just had my first review and they gave me average, my first average review ever. And I'm so angry because I don't understand. And I said, well, sure, I know why. Because you defined your value off of working 60 hours a week. That's what you did. And then you went and had a child and came back and started working 40 hours a week. So the visual is you aren't doing the same thing you were doing before, even though we both know you're performing at a higher level and doing more. But what you set, and this is what I want women to understand, however you define yourself in the workplace, that's what they think they're getting for the paycheck. When you want to go change it, you changed it on them without permission. That's why a lot of women end up having to leave that job that expected them to do 60 hours. But then shockingly, I'll get them someplace where they got a 40% pay raise and they're like, sure, work 32 hours a week. We love your value, because they don't have the history of what you used to do. Right. And so that's why so many women end up having to leave after they've had a child, because they have to redefine what value is.
I think that's fascinating, because I think the popular narrative would be they're holding her down because she has a child now, that she's not as committed, or, you know, the guy who gets promoted is going to work continually as he did before. I think the narrative of like what you said, I don't think is the popular narrative that's out there. And I think that point of view is incredibly powerful. Another thing that I thought of was they talk about in the study that how women are more selective in applying to jobs. They're more hesitant if they don't adhere to 100% of the requirements. Whereas men are like 60%, let's go, you know, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. As a result, women apply to 20% less jobs. I think you and I both believe that an agentic future in job search is happening. In that world, I'm assuming a man's agent and a woman's agent are the same agent. So do you feel like if women through their agent, they don't think about, oh, is it 100%? It's just like, let's just go. This agent is going to work for me. Will women get more opportunities in that world? And is that I guess, an endorsement for agentic job search, in that women will get more opportunities because there won't be the filter with an agent that a human woman might have?
Yeah, and I'm seeing anecdotal evidence of that already, actually, on LinkedIn. So I have women now that we're teaching them to talk about their industry and their skill sets, the problems you solve, the pain you alleviate, and documenting that knowledge. Yeah. And because they're documenting that knowledge, they're being surfaced in the searches. But more importantly, and this is the thing that I think people don't understand, when you take the time to document your knowledge, when you have to sit down and think about, how do I want to explain these things that I did? You're actually prepping yourself for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So when they call you because of the interesting things you put out there, you're prepared to talk. And this is where I'm seeing women really excel and land incredible opportunities.
Yeah.
So the agentic excites me because it can go out and it can listen. It can listen to what you're saying and how you're saying it. And this is where I think women are going to start to get a great edge.
I just realized that I mentioned I was going to say something about the HireVue acquisition, and I didn't because of all the fuss over Juicebox. So if you're still listening to this episode, which God bless you if you are, it's been a wild ride. I'm going to give my 2 cents on the HireVue acquisition. So HireVue started in 2004. Video interviewing was cutting edge, man. That was hot, and they were the brand leader in that. Let's call it 10 years of sort of high-speed internet, mobile phones, video, getting used to that. Let's fast forward to, let's say, COVID, we're interviewing online with video. I mean, HireVue has always been sort of at that leading edge brand-wise. They've never struck it rich. They've never got acquired. They've never, so they're kind of this feature that has just sort of stuck around and is still sticking around. But my take on this is, they've been pinched for going AI facial recognition, diversity, exclusion. They went down that path and got pinched. So they've dialed it back. Now, just like Workday, just like SAP, it's like, we need to get some AI in this piece or else we're going to suffer. Hence the HireGuide acquisition. To me, this is not a winning recipe for HireVue. I think there are better solutions out there, more all-encompassing solutions. I looked at some of the numbers on what's going on at HireVue. In 2025, they lost their chief innovation officer, they lost an SVP of sales, and they lost a VP of sales. And JT, I've been around long enough, and you have as well. When you lose your product innovation person and you start losing your top salespeople, something stinks. Something stinks to high heaven. So that is when you look at their headcount's been 10% down in the last 2 years. I looked at HireGuide, headcount's down 20% over 2 years. They're only about a 20-person company. I think they've lost some folks as well. So this whole hey, if we're two dinosaurs and we cuddle, can we survive longer after the meteor, and the ice age happens? Not much longer. But this is an attempt to do that. I think video interviewing is a feature. Everyone's gonna I just don't see any sort of IP there. And when you don't have that, you just start losing customers. And I think they've been bleeding customers for almost 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been around. There's so many people right idea, wrong time. How many startups have you seen that just were too early to the market? It wasn't ready for it, etc.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I think they were one of them. And then, like you said, they got pinched. There was a documentary that they got negatively featured in, and they've been up against that. Now anybody can do video, and I can only imagine what their legacy tech, that's got to be expensive. And so I think they were one of those that right idea, wrong time. And they've been at it for a really long time. It's just, I'm with you. I don't see it, especially with all the new tech I'm seeing in the video space that is so agile, so up there, and so much more user-friendly, specifically putting the power in the hand of the job seeker, right? Like one of the issues people always have with things like HireVue is I get put on the spot, I answer these questions, I don't know where my data is going, I don't know where my video is going, right? And I'm redoing these every single time. So there was just so much wrong with it that, there's plenty of players out there right now that I think are
Feels
newer,
very
faster, and
antiquated.
leveraging AI.
And I think in a world where there's fewer recruiters interviewing in person people that are applying to jobs, like putting a camera in that equation just is like putting a monkey wrench in the engine. It just slows everything down. The tools now are so much more efficient and cheaper and better.
Agreed.
All right. Well, one thing I never miss on a weekly show, JT, as you know, is
here it comes.
The dad joke. And in honor of Women's Month, what do you call a man with 99% of his brain missing? What do you call a man with 99% of his brain missing?
I mean, I could say something, but I'd have a lot of men hate me on this show, so I'm just not going to say it. No.
No one's listening at this point in the show. Just say whatever you want.
Nope, not doing it.
All right. What do you call a man with 99% of his brain missing? Castrated. Thanks for sticking with it, JT. We
love
out.
It. We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The chat. The cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho, pepper jack, Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chatcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!